with all that cable nightmare, well, let's get started. What do you say? Hey, everybody, we're back. Yes, I'm back. Yes, it's Friday again at 1 p.m., and we are here at 343 TV. My name is Abe Duque, and it feels like we've been gone for a year or so. It really has. I mean, it's got to have been at least a month that we've been off on holiday, I guess, on vacation, on, I don't know, hiatus. But we're back. We're back now, and I'm very glad. Yes, this is 343 TV. We are streaming now. These days, we're doing Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Tuesday with Tetra Talks, Fridays with me, Abe Duque Production Basics. And tomorrow with John Selway with his techno or electro Saturdays. Yes, we do everything you like to see and hear. We come from 343 Labs, which is a production school. We have schools in Berlin, New York, and here online. Come to our website, 343labs.com, and maybe check out our course list. Anyway, I'm back. I'm glad to see so many people back in the chat. I feel like you guys are my old friends. By the way, Martin Crockett wins the early bird award for first person in the chat today. He was there, I don't know, about 2 hours before the show started, waiting for the show to start. And yeah, so congratulations, Martin Crockett. You get the early bird special for your diligence and being on time or early, let's say. Second runner-up was Martin Crockett, which was very angry. If you look in the chat, you'll see what this happened. Martin Crockett was very angry that he actually did not win and he even called him a squatter for that. But it's good to see you guys back in the chat. Let's see who else is here. Michael Black is here. I saw A. Paul around here somewhere. Let's see who else. Let's see. Yes, A. Paul and TI-808. I'm sorry, TI-80 Mark is here. Cassette Disco. Excelente, gracias. He says. Desde Mexico City or Ciudad de Mexico, DF. Welcome. I do speak Spanish. And you guys that are in the chat, please, SPRK as well, please write things down. I try to look into the chat all the time and see if I keep up with you guys. And maybe if you guys throw in a question here and there, that would be very nice. Let's see. All right. Let's get into some action here. So today I was thinking about what we should do today. And today I wanted to start with something a little different. I mean, I have all my gear set up in front of me still from, actually during the break, I started to do more. Let's see if I could show you how it's gotten. I started to hook up more things together, and I started to do these kind of streams where I would just play for an hour, kind of live. And I was doing them on Facebook. So if you go on my Facebook, Abe Duque, my Facebook is on the page here. I think it's at Abe Duque or whatever, abe.duque. You could see some of the holiday sets that I did on there with this setup, and I'm planning to keep it here and to kind of like bring it back and discuss lots of stuff with playing live and recording live and all the stuff we do here, and so we're going to be doing that in future shows, but. Today I wanted to do something a little bit different. GJNX Jinx, I guess, or Jinx, says hello, Abe. Katie Cat TG is here as well. Um, I'm new to the channel as well as music production. I'm eager to learn. Yes, I'm happy for you, and I'm very happy to help you in any way I can. And anybody that's in here for the first time knows that I love questions, or anybody that's taken a class with me knows that I love questions. So if at any point you want to distract me with a question, just drop it into the chat, and we can get going with it. But anyway, I wanted to discuss a little bit about Midi. So, Midi is a system created, I think, around 1982 or so, a little earlier. I think at the behest of sequential circuits, which Dave Smith from Sequential Circuits thought it'd be a good idea to kind of create a system to unify all synthesizers and drum machines that were being created at the time. So at the time, we're talking about very early. Computers are not really doing anything in the studio at this point. It's only like synthesizers and like drum machines and from different companies, Moog and Roland and Yamaha and Sequential Circuits, of course. And what happens is that these companies start to create their own proprietary systems to kind of hook up their gear to each other. So Roland had like Roland DIN-Sync, and people were using, or these companies were using like things like CV and Gate to control their devices, and Korg had their own proprietary CV and Gate setup, which was cool if you stuck to one brand, but as soon as you tried to kind of hook up stuff to another company's synthesizer, it wouldn't be working. So Dave Smith, he had this idea to like bring in a system that would unite them all, the system that would get everybody together, and that would make it so that we could have a protocol that we could transmit very important information between these devices. Like, for example, the track information, meaning the MIDI notes or the notes that you could play on a controller, a keyboard controller, the gestures that you would play on a controller would actually be transmitted over this system. And which it boils down to, like, if you had a synthesizer here from a Yamaha and a synthesizer there from Roland, you could hook them up via a MIDI cable, play the one synthesizer, and the other one would actually go ahead and be triggered. And that was possible now through the MIDI system. And all these companies, they sort of signed up to it, like the big ones like Yamaha, I think, Roland and Sequential Circuits signed up for it. And these were like the biggest companies. So any small company after that sort of had to fall in line and say, yeah, I guess I'm going to sign up to this MIDI system. And it became a great thing because we still use it today. And every DAW, anytime you work with a virtual instrument even, you're working with the MIDI system. So it's an amazing it's amazing that it's 1982. It was that 40 years now, and we still use the same system in the way that it was sort of designed. So they've announced MIDI 2.0, but we're still using sort of MIDI 1.0. So that's quite amazing and quite a distinction, or quite of they deserve an award for creating such a great protocol. The protocol included transmission of information like keyboard information, like notes. It also had transmission of time code, so there would be a MIDI time code that would be transmitted over the system, which meant that you could do a drum machine and another drum machine, hook them up via MIDI cable, and start one, and the other one would play along, synced up right in time. The other thing they had was a system where you could do remote controls, so knobs and faders and so on could be mapped to control different parameters on other synthesizers, and this was all configurable. This was amazing. It was really amazing that this was this was set up, and it opened the door for computers to have finally something to do in the studio. So, because computers at this time were just, kind of fun experiments. And, I remember the early computers. But at the time when MIDI was implemented, the computer suddenly had something that they could handle because the protocol was very light, and it was digital protocol, but it was very light. It wasn't like, like now we have, synths in the box and the whole studio's in the box. It wasn't anything like that at all. It was just managing the information on a timeline. So you could have a sequencer that could manage the notes, the bass lines and the chords and everything, and have that play out into the different devices you might have inside your studio, and have a virtual orchestra happening with your setup. So this was amazing. This was incredible that this happened. So and then lots of studios, or all the studios, went that direction. And they have computers. There was a Amiga computer that was very popular at that time, and there was also the Atari ST, which was created for studios. Also, a very popular computer. Some of you geeks might know this computer is the Commodore 64. The Commodore 64 had some options for MIDI. Oh, I see John H. Kingston III here. Welcome. Anyway, so this is an amazing time. Computers are now in the studio doing very interesting things. But okay, so MIDI progresses, and as time goes by, there was a guy that I really loved his music. His name is Thomas Dolby, and Thomas Dolby made probably my favorite album ever, which was The Golden Age of Wireless back in the early '80s. Songs like She Blinded Me with Science and so on. A very amazing new sound, and was completely like this new wave but synth-based stuff. It really inspired me to like even do what I'm doing today. But anyway, he was making music, and then he got himself into this idea of taking MIDI to another level. And what he wanted to do is to bring it to the level of, he wanted to standardize MIDI. See, MIDI was very expansive. It had a lot of room for a lot of instruments and things to happen in there. It had, first of all, it had 16 channels, so you could have 16 things happening at once. Not only that, but it also had a way to save presets that would be inside the same protocol. So you could make it so that you could pull up something through the MIDI system, and it can immediately switch the preset on a device into the same to the preset that you saved in your MIDI programming. So he thought that it would be great if you could set up a sort of a convention that would have everything in its place for the music and that we have been doing up until now. Everything from orchestra to like bands and everything. So, for example, the drums would always be on channel 10, and kick drums would always have this MIDI note, and snare drums would always have that MIDI note, and hi-hats would always be this MIDI note. And bass lines would always be on this channel, and electric pianos would always be on this channel, but it would always, but maybe keys would have a different preset for each type of sound. Like this one would be a grand piano, this would be electric piano, maybe this would be an organ. So because of that, it was a lot of work, and they came up with this convention, and the convention was renamed General MIDI. And for a period of time, people kind of got into this idea, this General MIDI idea, where some companies like Roland and so on started to create these standalone modules that could handle General MIDI, meaning you could write in General MIDI. You can make a programming in General MIDI of a song, any song you wanted, and save it as a General MIDI file, and then just send the General MIDI file, and the General MIDI player, which would be a synthesizer with a bunch of different possibilities, a multi-timbral synthesizer, or I guess you could call it that, that could handle all the things thrown at it from the General MIDI file, and play that out. This was great. And it was an idea that had its moment, it had its time, but people wanted to go beyond that. And the sound started to become more experimental and more experimental. And these this idea of general MIDI didn't really catch the way that I guess Thomas Dolby wanted it to catch. But it did catch in one aspect, and that is in karaoke. Now, I know that Simple Sam and Martin Crockett are heavy karaoke enthusiasts. So if you want to talk about karaoke and ask anything about karaoke, ask in the chat. Martin Crockett and Simple Sam will tell you everything there is to know about karaoke. But karaoke is basically, I mean, I think everybody knows what karaoke is. But imagine now you can create a file that would have the song in the general MIDI file and then send it to a general MIDI player. So even today, as we talk, a karaoke player is just basically a general MIDI player. It's a synthesizer that is ready to play out all of the karaoke, all the information in the song that you might want to do in karaoke. So let's see what we're talking about in the chat. Thinking back at the time with the Jarvis ultrasound and Commander Keen. Wow, that's bringing us back. Simple Sam is laughing. John Selway, lots of GM video game music too. That's right, John. John and I have taken advantage of a lot of karaoke files for general MIDI reconstruction of songs. There's one that comes to mind that I'm gonna blow up John's spot right now. John, believe it or not, did a cover version of John. Should I tell him? Yes, Barry Manilow's Copacabana. John Selway singing Barry Manilow's Copacabana. We released it on Gigolo International Gigolo Records in the 90s sometime. And I used a karaoke file to do that. I used a general MIDI file to do that. John also did a few other covers this way, but I'll let John tell you all about it on his time. But anyway, let's see. What time is it? John says, oh, yeah. It's 17 past. Oh, I forgot to mention, we have a giveaway this week that John will be giving out tomorrow on his show, which is 200 Ableton bucks. That's right. It's a voucher for 200 Ableton bucks. Tomorrow, we will give that out. So, have a look and have a search on the internet, on YouTube for John's Copacabana remix, or I guess it was a cover version at that point. What it was is that DJ Hell did a Hell Copa, where he did a cut up of the Copacabana song, and asked me to do a remix. And what I thought would be funny is if I just made a remake and had John sing it. Actually, DJ Hell loved that, and it was quite a funny and fun thing to be a part of. Anyway, so what do I want to do today? So I want to look for a MIDI file, and I want to kind of walk you through the process of like what it is that you can do, because everything you want, almost any song that you want, is out there as a MIDI file. Some of the newer stuff, you could buy them. You know, they sell them $1 or $2. It's the Abe Duque remix. Yes, that's right. John is confirming the Johnny Manilow. Sorry, that's pretty funny. All right, so let's start this from scratch. So let me see if I can share my screen here. So I'm looking to share now my browser, and I'm just gonna type in a hold on, let me move this out of the way. I'm gonna type in let's see, disco, wrong, disco and MIDI, and let's see what pops up there. So my Google is Googling, and let's see what we get. Oh, Haiti Mark found it already. Hey, share the link if you found Selway's. Okay, Disco MIDI. Let's see. Maybe I typed it wrong. But look at all the stuff here. Now, this is one I've been to before, so it's highlighted. But there are so many sites that come up. So many sites. let's go to this one here, Disco Free Midi. And my internet is slow. If my internet keeps on being slow, I'm going to have to just take the one that I downloaded earlier. But yeah, so this site that I'm trying to get to by clicking on, and my computer won't go to, is has a file of a track that I think we should kind of recreate today. It's called "Ain't No Stopping Us Now," and I don't know why this thing is just waiting for Google for some reason and not moving. And I'm not going to waste our time or your time on this. Oh, somebody's dropping it in the Discord. Very funny. By the way, if you want to hear more John Selway singing productions, I think John Selway did also a version of Ghost Riders in the Sky, and I Want to Be a Cowboy as well. Oh, there we go. We finally got to the page. So there's a bunch of disco artists there, and I wanted to do this McFadden and Whitehead. When I was looking for is Ain't No Stopping Us Now. So here it is, Ain't No Stopping Us Now, and I could just download this, which I did before, but I'll do it again. Just going to walk you through this the way that I would do it. And yeah, so it just is downloading now. Okay, good. So let's switch from that to my Ableton screen. So now I'm in my Ableton screen here, and what am I doing? I'm going to look for in my downloads folder. Get the Ain't No Stopping Us Now. Oh, there it is. So there it is. So I'm going to grab this and just drop it in there. So if you see, it comes in. This is a .mid file, so MIDI. .midi. It comes in with a bunch of tracks, and it's taking a minute. So there we go. So it's going to import a tempo and time signature data into the arrangement. Yeah, why not? That'd be good, so that we can do it all. So as you might see right here, and so here's the problem, right? So you're going to get this in. Some of these are curated better than others, or set up better than others. Some of them tell you what these tracks are, right? But this one is just a bunch of MIDI information. So I'm going to try to recreate this song. Just by kind of trying to figure out what is what. So let's look at this first track here. On this first track here, I'm thinking the way that these patterns are so repetitive and looking the way they look, that this is a drum file, that this is the drum file. Now, I don't know if you knew, but Ableton has, and I think Bitwig does this as well, and a lot of DAWs do this, where their drum computers or drum setups or the drum rack in Ableton are already set up in the general MIDI convention. They respect the convention. So let's say if I grab, I don't know, I'm going to grab a 707. 707 is an easy way to start this. And I'm going to drop it right in there. And hopefully, if this is going to work, the 707 will start playing the drums for this track. So let's see. Let's see what happens. Here we go. There we go. Look at that. The drums are already going. And now, I mean, it's just right now I just grabbed the first drum machine that I saw, which is probably going to work for today because the 707 is kind of dry, but a nice clap. That works. Oh, yeah, look at that. That's the drums. I mean, we could tweak it later, but let's try to find all the sounds for everything. All right. So let's have a look now at the next one. Now, what this is here, I'm going to skip this one for now. I'm going to go to this one here. It seems to be playing all the time. So what I do when I get a MIDI file and I want to figure out what it is, I usually pick a piano for a sound, no matter what I think it might be or what it's going to be. I usually pick a piano because piano can cover a lot of ground. It could play bass lines, it could play chords, it could play, melodies. And so the piano sound probably is a good idea. So let's go to the instruments here, and I'm just going to grab a simple piano. I'm not going to grab any special piano. I'm not going to go looking for a contact grand piano or something like that. I just want something to play some keys with right now. So let's see this grand piano, what it sounds like. That's good enough. So I'm going to drop that in there. Simple Sounding is already dancing and singing along. Wow. The bass line is amazing on this song, but let's see what. Maybe this is the bass line. I can't tell. So let's hear it with the piano. What it is. Hold on, it's still loading the piano. Okay, some chords. Okay. This might be a piano. It's either a piano or a guitar. I don't know. You guys can write in the chat what you think this is, whether it's a piano or a guitar. This might be a guitar. This definitely might be a guitar. Let's see if we can find another guitar sound to drop in there. Maybe I get some contact stuff going. Let's look and see if I have any contact guitars. Let's see. Let's contact. Throw that in there. Yeah, Michael Black says it's guitar. I also think it's guitar. No, I'm almost regretting having dropped contact in there because I just remember how long it takes for contact to jump in there. Hey, Abe, great to have you back. Really love your show. Let's let the music play. Oliver Cap, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, guitar, but wait till contact loads. With everything that I got running on this computer right now, let's just take a little dance break and dance with this piano and drums. I know Simple Sam is dancing around right now. Oh, what? Simple Sam is promising to do a vocal version of this. Very nice. Thank you, Sam. Not necessary, but thank you regardless. Okay, I'm getting really bored of waiting for contact to load. And I hope it doesn't crash my computer. In the meantime, I'm going to lower the volume a little bit and tell you a little bit about who we are, because it is about halfway through the show. This is 343 TV. My name is Abe Duque. I'm here on Fridays at 1 o'clock. I talk production, everything to do with production. We stream on Tuesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Tuesdays is with Tetro Talks. Fridays is for myself, and tomorrow, of course, is our crowning jewel of a show is John Selway's techno/electro show, or Saturdays, Electro Saturdays, I think it's called, or Techno Saturdays. Regardless, we are here. We're from 340 Labs, which is a school. We have classes. We have schools physical schools in New York and in Berlin. Come and check us out. In New York, we just got these amazing windows delivered to our school. They'll be being installed, or it's a glass sort of partition between. I don't know if you guys have been to the New York school, you know what I mean. They have they've been delivered and they're being installed maybe even as I speak. In Berlin, we have a nice John Bright like a diamond, says John Selway. Sorry, I just saw that. In Berlin, we have a nice studio as well, and we have classes there starting all the time. Come on our website, 343labs.com or 343labs.de for the German version, and check out and maybe take a class with us. So also online, don't forget. So right now I'm still getting the beach ball of death I know you can't see it, but oh look, it's just about to let go. Come on, contact. That was a big mistake of mine to try to drop contact in there, because now I got to do a little song and dance for you guys. This thing is even jammed up and not moving. Eventually, it will move. I mean, it's still playing, but the actual clock isn't going. But hey, whatever. So let me just stop the sound for a second. I'll just, that's starting to get on my nerves that it's not working. So now we're in a spot a bit. Oh, look at that. Just before I just about to quit on it, and the contact finally decides to load. I am not grabbing any more contact instruments anymore. I might even just stop all the idea of using anything in contact. And did I even have a guitar in here? Maybe not. So you know what? Goodbye. Oh well, I'll keep that around. There's some nice strings in here, but you know what? I'm not gonna take a chance on like screwing up the rest of the show. So bye contact, you're gone. So I'm gonna look for a guitar in Ableton somewhere. Let's go to the instruments and let's see in the sampler. Maybe there's a preset for guitar. There's guitar and plucked. Let's see if any of these give us a sound that you might want. Nope. Oh, that's a lute. That's interesting. That's a muted guitar. That's an open guitar. Let's try the muted guitar and let's just hot swap them away. Let's see what happens. So let's play this. Hey, that's not bad. In a pinch, I'll deal with that. Let's go to the next one. And as I said, I like to pick a piano for these things. So let me grab that grand piano again. So where is the grand piano? Over here. This is the one. So where's the channel I'm looking at? It's this channel here. Nope, that's the one that I was just looking at. It's this one that I want to look at. Let's throw that in there. And hopefully we'll get some sound going. Oh, that's that bass line. All right, I'm going to make a bass line from scratch. I'll grab the analog and see if I can't do some quick, hasty sound design, if you will. Shorten this. Is it an octave too low? I wonder. This to a square, see what that sounds like. Nah, change the top one to a square. Let's add some processing to it. Let's see, let's add a little bit of a glue just to glue it together a bit. Maybe I want to go back down. I don't know. I'm torn between that and that. I'll keep it up for now. Let's see what we can do with that. Let's add a little bit of reverb to it. Too much reverb on that. That's a reverb I have in there. It's too big. Let's put its own reverb. When I grab reverb, I always kind of exaggerate it at first until I find the tone that I want from the reverb. Where's my bass? That bass back again. So I open up the dry wet more than 50%. And the decay time, I open it up. And then start closing out the decay time. And then the dry wet. And that just kind of gave it the nice positioning that I want right now. So I went from dry. That's even a little too much. I like to use reverb where you can barely tell that it's there. Let's do like 14%. A little less. 10%. Great. So I don't want to make this too loud, so let's just keep this down here. I'll lower all the levels when I get everything going. Okay, let's look for another sound. Let's see what else we have here. I'm gonna stick to like the ones that have the most notes first, and then try to figure out the other ones later. Let's try this one and see what this one is. Let's go back into the instruments and grab a piano. See what it is. I got a feeling this might be the strings. Yeah, this is the strings for sure. I need a string preset from Ableton. Hopefully it doesn't disappoint. Let's start with that and see where that goes. It's okay. Let's try this one instead. Same difference. Let's try this one. I don't really want pizzicato ones. Oh, I said I didn't want pizzicato. Let's go back to where the strings are playing. Okay, some craziness is going on there. I guess it has some effect in it. Let's see what the simpler one does here. That's weird. Strange. Let's try another. Let's see if in the simpler we have an easier string setup. See, it's orchestral, or should I just go straight to strings? Let's see what this one does. Go back. You know, for sake of time, I'm just gonna keep that for now. And let's just figure out the rest of this. Let's see, what is this here? Let's try to figure out what this guy is right here. Let's grab a instrument from the pianos again. And see, again, the reason I use the piano is because it can cover so much ground, you know, and you can sort of figure out from a piano. And, you know, if you were writing for an orchestra, sometimes you'd work it all out on the piano anyway. Okay, interesting. Anybody have any ideas? This could be another guitar. Let's go to the and let's play it in the mix. I think it's another guitar, if you ask me. I'm waiting for you guys to let me know in the chat what you think the sound is. Let's see. Let's look for any guitars in here. Where did I find that guitar? I think it was in the sampler. That was the muted one, right? Let's try a different one. Nothing like that. No electric guitars, please. Let's see what this sounds like. Let's try. It's trying. Hold on, let's give it a chance because it didn't load in all the way yet. We're creating, but for those who don't know, we're creating a, as F-Top says, a McFadden and Whitehead karaoke file so that Martin Crockett and Simple Sam are going to take turns at creating vocal productions for for this mix we make, and during the week they're going to try to make their own vocal versions of this. No, that's not working either. Let's just use the same muted guitar we used last time, and I'll try to process it differently. I'm gonna put this in the Haas effect. Sort of put it to the sides. So remember the Haas effect we do by we do it in a delay. Grab a delay and put it in there. And what we need is just to be a time-based delay. And basically no feedback, no filter really. Full wet. And let's move one off the other one. So they kind of go on the sides there. Now that they're in that, let's grab a plugin. Let's grab a, let's see what we can do here. Let's take a, how about the AMS RMX16? No, let's do a little chorusing with the Dimension D, if we can find it. I always have trouble finding that thing. Where is the Dimension D? So it's Studio D, I think. There we go. I love this thing. This thing is, sadly, Simple Sam is giving up and saying he can't really sing. He's gonna let Martin Crockett do the production all by himself. So let's get some production there on that. A little chorusing on there. All right, that'll do. Maybe a little bit of echo. I keep in my kind of basic default settings, I keep a echo that I like, I keep a delay that I can deal with, and I keep a reverb that I kind of like as well. Maybe not the one that I'm going to keep, but it's quick to be able to just turn a knob and add a little bit of flavoring to it, something, you know. Let's see how this sounds in the mix. Let's back up a little bit. I'm going to change the pitch up, maybe an octave. So I'll use a pitch device for that. And drop it in there. And remember in Ableton, if you hold down the shift button and the arrow key up, you can take things up by an octave every time. Not ideal what's going on in here, but I'm starting to get the idea of what the song is. Let's see what other parts we haven't filled in yet. Okay, so this one, let's try to see what this one is. Probably would have been good to get a to listen to the original But regardless, let's listen to whatever this is and try to make out what it is. We'll go back into the instruments here. And where are we? Oh, there's that grand piano, right? That's what we wanted from the simpler. Let's turn that off for a second. It's driving me a little crazy. Let's see. Where's the grand piano? Drop that in there. So let's try to figure this one out. Okay. Again, I'm getting the beach ball of death. All right, here we go. So let's solo that part. Let's see if you guys can help me out here. I'm trying to figure out what this kind of part would actually be. So here we go. I am not making a Macarena cover right now. I can make a Macarena cover, and the purpose of this is not to make a cheesy cover. The purpose of this is to fool around with MIDI and understand it. Basically, the idea is that there are so many MIDI files out there, and a lot of times, sometimes you run into you run up against the wall with like creativity, right? So you like, oh, I want to do something, but I don't really know what to do. I've done everything that I can imagine. Maybe you can grab a MIDI file, and maybe there's a chord progression that it's in that MIDI file that you really love. So you don't have to use all of what I'm doing. I'm just doing it now to like kind of to have fun for this stream. But the idea is that you can sort of lift or borrow some of the things that you can find, and you can find thousands and thousands of these MIDI files everywhere. So you can go ahead and grab them and use them. And I've done this. I'm proud to say that I've done this before in my productions. I remember one time I wanted to make a house track, and I wanted to make a house track that had a bass line, but like an upright walking bass sort of bass line. And I could do my best at trying to play an upright walking bass on my own, but I decided to go and look for some jazz MIDI files. And I found some stuff from Thelonious Monk and stuff like that. And I just found a few walking bass lines, and I kind of just took the MIDI files and, cut up some loops of things, of MIDI file loops, and applied my own bass sound to it, and then made this particular house track for fun with that bass line that I found from Thelonious Monk in a MIDI file. Anyway, let's have a look at a listen to what this might be. Interesting. Interesting. Let's just apply a sound to it. Any particular sound? No. Let's just make a sound to it. Let's grab our wavetable synthesizer. And which one are we looking at? The one that's called... Where were we? I lost my place. Oh, the one that has this grand piano in it. So I guess it's this one here. Let's drop a wavetable in there. Get that sound playing in here. It should be coming up right around here. Let's just fast forward to that. Okay. Interesting. Let's add some delay to that. More plucky sound. And lower it. A flute, also a good idea. Maybe a flute. Let's try it. Let's try a flute type sound. Let's see if we have any flute presets in our wavetable here. Synth leads, percussive sounds, no flute that I can see here. Maybe an organ was also said, but I see no organs in here. I gotta say, I get very disappointed with Ableton's presets. There's not that many of them, and they're not amazing. Sorry, Ableton, but I have to be honest. Let's see, maybe an operator has a decent flute or organ. So you can see in the keys part, maybe. Only oh, here's an organ. Let's try a house organ. Okay, let's see what that sounds like. Space Fax is saying hello. What's up? All right, so oh, that works. That's working. Let's get that back. Oh yeah. Thanks for that tip. That's good. That's true. I can use the search. You're right. I gotta dig into newer packs. Yes, I gotta dig into newer packs. You're right. But even out of all the packs that I've ever seen for all the presets in Ableton, I have never been actually impressed. Let's see what else we have as far as sounds that we haven't assigned yet. I don't know what this stuff is at the end. See, I should have just listened to the original. But here's one that has a lot going on, which I have no idea what it is. So let's try to place that one. So let's grab again I guess we were doing the simpler with. Hold on, because my computer needs to be replaced. I was thinking about replacing my computer today. Oh, by the way, just as we go on here, just remember we do have a giveaway. It's 200 Ableton bucks, and that will be the winner will be announced tomorrow on John Selway's Techno or Electro Saturdays, the crowning jewel of the 343 streaming company. We will be. Did I drop it in the wrong place? I think I dropped it in the wrong place. Yeah, he will be announcing, or will be the winner will be announced on that day tomorrow. Let's see. Let me just drop this in here. So if you want to win some 200 Ableton bucks, go ahead and enter. I think you can look in the chat. There might be a link for submitting. Okay, this thing has bends in it. That is a good prize. 200 Ableton bucks. I think that's a great prize. Now, what could have a bend in it? Could it be a lead guitar? Could it be a saxophone? What do you guys think this could be? Now, grabbing these presets from scratch here. Let's see if we can find some sort of horns. Let's see if I can go in here into brass. It's bass. We want brass. Is there any sax in here? No. Let's see in the sampler. So I guess the sax is wind, Fluffy lead announce? I don't think so. Let's see. Maybe operator has some sort of brassy sort of sound. A slide guitar. That would be nice. A nice slide guitar. John used to go, when we used to go on tour with the John's Rent to Relax All-Stars. I'm talking a lot about John today, but just a lot of things I remember. John used to play the sliding guitar. He had a really nice one. I wonder if he still has that guitar. John's really talented. He could play almost anything you throw in front of him. So let's look at the brass, maybe some. I've been looking for a saxophone, but you're right. I'm going to do the search thing, see if the search pans out for us. Now I'm waiting. Doom, 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 doom. Oh. I'm getting, you can't see it. I see that you can't see it, but I'm getting the beach ball of death again. And I'm also think I well, let's see what's happening here. So with the search, it's jamming up. I don't know what to do. I mean, we're towards the end of the show. Um, if it recovers, we'll get back to it a little bit. But in the meantime, let me just tell you what you've been watching. You've been watching 343 TV. This is Abe Duque. That's me. And I'm here every Friday from now till we take another break again. John Selway is on every Saturday for his techno/electro Saturday show. Um, Tuesday we have Tetro Talks, and yeah, we just try to do and try to show you and try to cover everything that we think that you might love to hear in this electronic and well, it doesn't even have to be only electronic, but maybe computer recording of music and production of music. We do everything from music composition to teaching you a particular DAW, Ableton, Logic, Bitwig if you want. We do mixing and mastering. I do a lot of those classes. John does sound design for production. We do it all. We do it. We really do it all. And we're about to launch in I guess how long? Maybe a couple of weeks. We're about to launch Bitwig Studios, which is a new kind of endeavor. That we I don't know. A lot of you in the chat have been part of the Bitwig Studios beta program, where we were trying to figure out how to put together a new system or a new product for you guys to like take part, and we had all sorts of fun things. I was very big part of the collaborations groups, and we have a lot of different master classes and a lot of different sort of mentorship sort of setups. Please have a look and check out the Bitwig Studios. Bitwig. Why am I saying Bitwig? It's 343. Okay, we got to go back here. This is 343 Studios, which is not Bitwig Studios. Bitwig Studio is the DAW. That's a little bit of brain fart there. So 343 Studio is our new product that we're looking to launch very soon. Anyway, I guess the sax the looking up thing didn't work. I'm still kind of having a problem. My computer jammed. I mean, I don't know. I think I need a new computer very soon. So I guess I'm going to start to wrap it up and maybe end the show for us. But let's see if we can't just start playback on what we actually managed to do within the time that we had. And here we go. Hopefully something will come through. Take the solo off that. Not bad, I would say. Yes, John can play the spoons. You know what John can do as well? Sorry, it's a John day. But John can yodel. John is an excellent yodeler. And I'm not making that up. I am not making that up. John actually can yodel pretty good. I mean, best yodeler I've ever met. So, yeah, John's multi-talented. So here we have it. Ain't no stopping us now. I'm glad to be back with you guys. And there won't be any stopping us moving forward. We're looking forward to Martin Crockett's vocal rendition of this. I'll send him the file later on. And Martin can do his mix and maybe send it back to us, and we'll play it next week on next week's show. But with that, I have to say goodbye. Remember, this is 343 TV. We're here every day. Not every day. We used to be here every day except for Sundays, but now we're here Tuesdays, Friday, and Saturdays. And we'll be coming at you, trying to give you everything you want. So with that, I'm going to say